Hello and welcome to my first vlog in this project where I'm looking at how plastic affects our day-to-day life and culture. So I thought a really good way to start off would be talking about the immediate things that you can purchase to reduce your single-use plastic footprint. So we all know that the three major things that we're supposed to be reducing are plastic bags, plastic water bottles and takeaway cups. This seems like a fairly easy thing to do. I have my sort of refillable water bottle here. It's got a fruit infuser in it, which is quite nice. Takeaway cup, and of course, bags for life. I haven't found it as easy as I thought to transfer to these. Partly because when this is full, it's really, really heavy. And also, in terms of culture, actually there aren't really many refill water bottle places around. So for example, at university, in a lot of the buildings there are vending machines where I can buy a bottle of water, but there isn't an obvious place where I can refill this apart from the toilet, and they often have those funny signs saying, you know, it's not drinking water. On top of that, I actually kind of forget to take these out with me, or sometimes when I'm out I don't, I hadn't planned that I was going to stop at a cafe. What I'm trying to do this month is, if I hadn't planned it and have not got this with me, I'm not having a coffee, but most people aren't going to do that, and I'm not sure that I can do that every time for the rest of my life. The other problem I have with these is that they're all still made of plastic. They're not single use, but if plastic takes hundreds or thousands of years to degrade, and I am at best using these for, let's go really crazy and say 10, it's going to be more likely a couple of years, really, isn't it? Then that's just a really short fraction of the material's lifespan. And although I'm diminishing my single-use plastic waste enormously, it's still plastic waste. Now, we're not going to get rid of plastics completely, and that's not the point of this experiment, but it is the point to be looking for viable alternatives. So, in terms of the water bottle, I have bought this, which is made of metal. There is, of course, a little bit of plastic in the lid, but it's tiny, and I actually prefer this. I find that it's lighter weight than the other bottle. That might be because it's smaller, but it's extremely lightweight. I thought it was going to be heavy, and it's not. I can use it for hot and cold, and although I wanted to be ambitious and have a bigger water bottle, I'm actually finding that a smaller one is much more practical because water's heavy. In terms of the takeaway cups are a really cumbersome shape. They're designed to be held, not to go in a bag. So I end up with mine sticking out my rucksack, and often the lid will fall off and it's a real pain. I was really chuffed to discover this cup, which is by Stojo. I'm sure there may be other ones available, but what I love about this is it folds up into this tiny little disc shape, which is bag friendly. So this is my new friend. Also, this is the equivalent to a big 16-ounce cup, so you can have any drink you like in it, but it doesn't seem as big as those kind of really tall takeaway cups. So I'm really impressed with it. Also, a lot of it is made of silicone. There is obviously plastic fittings, but it's silicone, so it's not quite as bad, allegedly. So if you haven't bought your bottle or your keep cup already, or the next time your bottle or keep cup wears out, I would encourage you to look for things that are more ergonomic, because the more ergonomic they are, the more likely you are to remember to take them out and make a habit of taking them out. And also, where possible, things that aren't still plastic. The area in which this is most difficult is still with plastic bags. So I have bags for life in here from Lidl, Aldi, Sainsbury's and Tesco's, and they're all just a slightly thicker plastic material than the 5p bags or the bags that we used to get routinely at the supermarket. Even the big durable bag, which will last longer, still plastic, right? And the bag for life is only a bag for life because they replace it when it tears, if we remember to take it back. The alternative is canvas or hessian bags. I found that most of my canvas or hessian bags are designed for books, and they're not really the right shape for grocery shopping. It was much more difficult than I thought it would be to find ones that are. We have a seasonal canvas hessian bag, but it still actually doesn't hold as much as the big bag I showed you earlier. What does, however, is this. I saw this on Cambridge Market and my friend fell in love with it, and then she got on a train and then I bought it. It was £35, but I have seen that they are available online for slightly less. I have a really good feeling about this shopper. It's gonna last forever. It's not as cumbersome as it looks because it squishes down, it sits nicely under my arm, and it's not made of plastic. It seems like a lot of effort to find things like this. It feels much harder than it should, but I really do think it's worth it. On top of anything else, this is far more attractive than an ugly plastic bag. So there are definitely non-plastic alternatives out there. Forget the single-use, completely non-plastic alternatives, except that's probably a bit of plastic there, but I'm gonna let that go. I think part of the plastic problem is that we're used to needing plastic and it becomes difficult to find alternatives. The takeaway coffee cup culture does not precede the takeaway coffee cup. So we have to come up with alternatives that actually suit our current lifestyle, such as the foldable cup, so that we remember to take it out with us. We also need to revise what we think about water. I know that there are lots of schemes for refills in cafes and so on. We've got to get used to being brave and going in and asking for a refill, because sometimes I feel a bit cheeky going into a cafe, not buying anything and just asking them to fill my water bottle up. But everyone's been really friendly so far. I also think we need to think about bringing back water fountains and making it a priority that there's a refill station rather than a vending machine full of water bottles. So for more of that, like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and you can follow what's going on at www.theanthrofoologist.com. See you next time.